Hello friends, family, and internet strangers. Stephanie here with a new What's for Dinner video. Let's get right into it. The first recipe I have in this video is going to be replenishing my stock of meatballs. So I pretty much always have meatballs and spaghetti sauce on hand in my freezer. I make them myself and then I am going to freeze those. But I still had sauce but no meatballs, so it was time for that. Now I will have a link down below and the little link up above as well to the video with my family's homemade meatballs and sauce recipes. But essentially you want some sort of mixture of pork and beef. My store calls it ground pork. So I have 2 pounds of that, and then for every pound, you're gonna have a cup of water, a cup of breadcrumbs, we use Italian style, and then an egg. So this is 2 pounds of meat, so all of that in accordance, and again, that video down below. Here is my sauce after these have come out of the oven, after being all mixed and rolled out. I had some of this Barilla veggie pasta to use up, some of the veggie rotini, so I used that with my sauce and meatballs. I also had Pizza Hut recently before this, so I had some leftover breadsticks and I served this with that. I did add a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, but that was after I made this video here. So that's going to be the first one of the week. Next up, a buffalo chicken salad. I did show something similar to this last week, but I have had questions recently about how I batch cook my chicken in the Instant Pot, so I thought I'd show y'all how I batch cook this. So I've seasoned this and then put it in and then season the top side, so both sides of my chicken are seasoned. I use that corruption seasoning that I talk about all the time on here, and I'll bring that up again in a few minutes, but corruption seasoning, and then 8 minutes in the Instant Pot. When the breasts are this big, you want to make sure that whatever size your chicken is, you cook it accordingly, and definitely check the temperature when you're done. Now, while that is cooking, I am making some buffalo sauce. All I'm using for this is butter, hot sauce, and again, that corruption seasoning. You can use whatever seasoning you want. You could use just a simple garlic powder or garlic salt. You could use a little onion powder. You can use the blend, Kinder's The Blend, if you have that. Pretty much whatever seasoning you want in your buffalo sauce. So this is super easy. I started making my own buffalo sauce because I know a lot of them have sugar, and I haven't cut out sugar completely, but I am trying to minimize it in certain areas. So cutting it out where I don't notice it being cut out in buffalo sauce is definitely one of those. So I have just seasoned this. I didn't measure anything. I just kind of tasted it as I went along and then put this on top of a salad. So I do chicken in large batches because it is really expensive to buy chicken for only one person. So I buy the Aldi family packs. I throw most of it in the Instant Pot, and then I chop it up. Like you can see here, it's all chopped up. And if I'm not using it that day, anything I'm not using that day, I will freeze pre-cooked chicken, and then I have it on hand, and I pretty much always now have pre-cooked chicken in my freezer, and it is the easiest thing to pull out of the freezer and make a quick meal with when I have no idea what I want for dinner sometimes. So that's what I've got here. I didn't do it exactly the same as in my previous video where I showed a buffalo chicken salad. That one I had coated it in flour and popped it in the air fryer. This is fresh out of the Instant Pot, and I just tossed it in the buffalo sauce. And I had a salad mix that I had made. So for my salad, I like it to be chopped up really small. I find that I will eat salad more if my salad is everything chopped up into tiny pieces. I like salads that you can eat with a spoon. So my salad mix, it is iceberg lettuce and spinach, kind of half and half of each. And then I've got some peppers and some cucumbers. And this one I didn't have carrots, but normally I do carrots as well. And I had croutons, crispy onions, and a little bit of ranch dressing on there. Now this next night, dirty rice and some salad. So dirty rice is something I fell in love with when I lived in the South. I love Bojangles. So if y'all have seen any of my road trip videos, you have absolutely heard me talk about my love of Bojangles. I love the Diet Pepsi at Bojangles, and I also love Bojangles Dirty Rice. Now, if you have not seen my road trip videos, you have probably heard me talk about them before, unless you're brand new. If you are brand new, welcome. Thanks for joining me here, and I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and stick around. I do cooking videos, and I also do road trip videos from time to time as I travel. So I love road trips. And I always reference my road trip videos when I talk about my corruption seasoning that I just mentioned a minute or two ago. So I picked that up from a place that was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives called Uncle Lou's Fried Chicken. And it's just a great seasoning, and I use it on pretty much everything. But if you haven't seen those road trip videos, they're probably the videos, with the exception of the very first road trip, because I hadn't started my channel yet, so it was Instagram stories put together. But with the exception of those videos, I am very proud of my road trip videos. They're the videos that the most I just watch them when I finish them and go, I'm proud of how that turned out. So I hope if you haven't checked those out and only are here for my food content, that's fine, but I hope you'll give them a try, because I really do love how my road trip videos come out. All of that to say, dirty rice. I lived in the South for 6 years, and I loved Bojangles Dirty Rice. And every time I do a road trip through the South, I have to stop at as many Bojangles as possible and get Diet Pepsi and Dirty Rice. I did not serve mine with fried chicken like I normally would get at a Bojangles, but I saw this dirty rice mix, and I knew it wasn't going to be exactly the same, because this one called for, on the package, ground beef. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Bojangles Dirty Rice has ground sausage, and I like ground sausage. So I essentially made this exactly how it is on the package. This is the Aldi version of dirty rice. The only swap is, instead of a pound of ground beef, I used a pound of ground sausage. That is the only thing I changed in this entire thing, and it was good. It did kind of fulfill my craving for Bojangles. It couldn't quench my thirst for a Bojangles Diet Pepsi, but it did the trick in the dirty rice area. So I would recommend this if you see it at your Aldi. I'm not sure if it's always there or if it's a seasonal item. I haven't been doing as many rices or potatoes lately, so this was kind of a little treat here, making this rice, because when I do make rice nowadays, I've been doing brown rice. But this was good. So if you do see it at your Aldi and you, like me, are no longer in an area with the Bojangles but you love it, give this a try. This next night was something I had been wanting to try for a really long time, and it's that Olive Garden chicken pasta. So there are multiple recipes for this out there. I chose one that I could do in the Instant Pot because I do love my Instant Pot. I don't use it as much now as when I first got it, but I do still love my Instant Pot. So this is a layer of chicken and then pasta. And the thing with this recipe, it said, just for cooking purposes, not to mix it. So to do it in the exact order that it was in the recipe for it to cook properly. So I've also got the Aldi version of the Olive Garden Italian dressing, put some of that in, and then some chicken broth, and then a block of cream cheese all cubed up, placed over the top. Next up is going to be some pepper going in on here, but other than that, the only swap I really made for this recipe that wasn't in the original, and I will post the one that I used in the description box down below, would be that I added spinach to this. Now, I was very excited to try this, but I had waited a long time too, because this is not something to just cook for one person. It's very difficult to scale this particular recipe down, so I waited until I had friends over. When I moved into my apartment, I moved in October, but I didn't have a kitchen table until, well, it was delivered in January, but I was away for a month. So by the time I had a kitchen table, it was March, but I still wasn't feeling my best emotionally. So it wasn't until May that I finally, for the first time, had friends over to my apartment, and I was very excited. They enjoyed this, I enjoyed this, but they came over before I could finish, so I didn't get video. After it came out of the Instant Pot, all I did was add Parmesan cheese to it. And then lastly, for this video, I'm just curious. I watch a lot of these what's for dinner videos, and people will show kind of what they eat out as well, and I have not shown that except for in my road trip videos. So if that is something you're interested in, let me know in the comments down below, because I can absolutely start taking pictures of the food that I get elsewhere and include these quickly. That is a Hawaiian place that is in Santa Clarita, California. I went there on my day off, and that is some chicken katsu. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below with what your favorite meal of this video was, which one maybe you'd try to make. And then if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I hope you'll do so and stick around. Thanks for watching.